A marathon match. And of course, Siegemund was playing those tactical games. You know, she was time wasting a little bit. She was, getting a little bit agitated, getting the umpire involved. She does all those things. And Eala, mentally strong throughout, just kept her cool and just played the game. And that's what she did very, very well in this one, which could have easily gone to Siegemund. I mean, again, like I said, chances were there. But let me know in the comments below. How's Eala going to do against potentially Swiatek? Because
there's to be no escape act in the second set for Laura Siegemund. Terrific point.
Eala delivered one of the most emotionally intense and mentally resilient performances of her young career, battling past Laura Siegemund in a gripping three-set clash at the Miami Open 2026. This wasn't just another match. It was a true test of composure, patience, and mental toughness against one of the most disruptive, rhythm-breaking players on tour. From the opening points, it was clear that this would be as much a psychological battle as a physical one. Eala came prepared not only for long rallies but also for the mind games that often come with facing Siegemund. Known for pushing the limits of time rules, breaking momentum, and frequently engaging with officials, Siegemund quickly turned the match into one of her trademark mental contests. Early on, her tactics appeared to make an impact. In the first set, Eala looked like the stronger player, sharp, confident, and in control of the rallies. But just as she began to build momentum, interruptions crept in. Repeated pauses, complaints about crowd movement, and extended service routines disrupted the flow of play. What should have been a smooth, controlled set for Eala turned into a frustrating stop-start battle. Despite being outplayed for stretches, Siegemund managed to drag the set into a tiebreak, and capitalizing on the broken rhythm, edged it in her favor. It was the kind of setback that could rattle even experienced players, let alone a rising star. But the challenges didn't stop there. At the start of the second set, Siegemund took a lengthy bathroom break, around 12 minutes, once again halting the momentum and cooling the intensity of the match. It was another moment designed intentionally or not to disrupt Eala's rhythm. Yet this is where Eala's true character began to shine. Instead of reacting with frustration or losing focus, she reset mentally. She stayed calm, avoided confrontation, and refused to let the situation dictate her mindset, showing a level of maturity and discipline far beyond her years. When Laura Siegemund returned, Eala stepped back onto the court with a completely transformed mindset, focused, composed, and fully in control. The second set quickly turned into a statement. Eala refused to let the earlier disruptions linger and began dictating play from the very first games. She controlled the tempo, attacked with confidence, and stayed locked into her own rhythm. Siegemund attempted to slow things down again, but this time it had no impact. Eala had adjusted. Point by point, game by game, she applied pressure and took command of the match. Staying disciplined in key moments, she capitalized on her opportunities and confidently closed out the set 6-3. The momentum had fully shifted, and for the first time, Siegemund appeared to be running out of answers. Heading into the third set, the contest evolved into something deeper than just tennis. It became a battle of endurance and mental strength. The question was whether Eala could maintain her composure despite continued attempts to disrupt her focus. From the very start, the answer was clear. Eala looked like she had completely decoded Siegemund's tactics. She remained calm through long rallies, repeated deuces, and further interruptions aimed at breaking her concentration. Siegemund once again tried to involve the umpire, raising concerns about crowd movement and distractions, but this time the officials didn't give it much attention. More importantly, Eala stayed unfazed. She kept her focus strictly on each point, refusing to get pulled into any off-court drama. As the match stretched beyond the 3-hour mark, every game became a test of patience. Siegemund continued to slow the pace between points, but Eala matched her endurance while maintaining her composure. Staying disciplined and mentally strong, Eala waited for her chances, and when they came, she took them. Just like in the second set, she struck at the right moments, breaking through when it mattered most. With another 6-3 finish, she sealed a remarkable comeback victory, showcasing not just her talent, but her resilience and mental strength at the highest level. It was a victory built on far more than just shot-making. It was a triumph of mental strength. As soon as the match ended, Eala let out a powerful roar, releasing over 3 hours of pressure, discipline, and emotional control. She had held everything in throughout the battle, staying composed through every disruption, and in that moment, it all came pouring out on the other side. Laura Siegemund's reaction told a very different story. After spending much of the match attempting to control the tempo with delays and interruptions, she offered only a brief, subdued handshake before walking off the court. There was little acknowledgement of the contest, only visible frustration. For many tennis fans, this wasn't unfamiliar territory. Similar situations have played out before, including her controversial clash with Coco Gauff at the US Open. That match also featured repeated delays, time violations, and ongoing disputes with officials. The crowd reacted strongly then, and in many ways the scenes in Miami felt like a repeat. Following that earlier defeat, Siegemund became emotional during her press conference, suggesting she had been treated unfairly and pointing to both the crowd and her opponent. In trying to reshape the narrative, she framed herself as the one wronged. However, the broader perception told a different story. Coco Gauff had already addressed the situation publicly, calling out what she viewed as unfair tactics and questionable officiating. That moment clarified things for many observers, and once again in Miami, the contrast between composure and disruption was on full display.
Less than a zero because they treated me bad. Like, they treated me like I was a cheater, like I was trying, sneaky ways to win this match or something. They treated me like I was a bad person. But there are people who are throwing rackets, who are screaming, who are making bad gestures.
But the
real difference in this match came down to how Eala responded. She refused to get pulled into the drama, never lost her composure, and let her performance speak for itself. While Laura Siegemund tried to shift momentum with delays and distractions, Eala stayed locked in, focused only on her game. In the end, despite Siegemund's attempts to control the narrative, the reality on court was clear. Eala's discipline exposed every effort to disrupt the rhythm, and the crowd could see exactly what was happening. The repeated attempts to slow play and engage the umpire only added to the sense of frustration on Siegemund's side, while Eala remained steady and composed. Rather than reacting, Eala stood firm, winning not just the match, but also reinforcing a sense of integrity and professionalism. Any attempt to manipulate the situation ultimately backfired, and it became evident that the momentum, both on court and in the stands, was firmly with her. This victory goes far beyond simply advancing at the Miami Open. It highlights how she handled one of the toughest mental challenges a player can face. At such a young age, Eala demonstrated a level of maturity and resilience that even seasoned professionals sometimes struggle to maintain. She recognized the tactics, prepared for them, and refused to let them affect her performance. That kind of composure under pressure is what separates good players from great ones. As she moves forward in the tournament, Eala carries more than just a win. She carries confidence, belief, and a growing reputation as one of the mentally toughest competitors on tour. The journey ahead is still demanding, but performances like this make one thing clear: she's ready. Eala didn't just win this match, she proved she belongs on the biggest stage. And if Eala continues with this level of focus and mindset, she could go far beyond what anyone initially expected. In the end, this wasn't just a second-round win at the Miami Open, it felt like a defining moment in her career. It showcased her mental toughness, discipline, and maturity on one of the biggest stages, against an opponent known for disrupting rhythm and testing patience. Eala didn't just endure the challenge, she adapted to it, stayed composed, and ultimately rose above everything thrown her way. Performances like this are what build champions. And if she continues to handle pressure with this kind of control and clarity, there's every reason to believe this is only the beginning of something truly special. The tournament still has a long road ahead, but one thing is already certain: Eala has made her statement, and the tennis world is now paying very close attention. What did you think of this intense clash between Eala and Laura Siegemund? Do you feel her tactics crossed the line, or were they simply part of the game? And how impressed were you with Eala's composure, especially at such a young age, staying calm under constant pressure and still coming out on top? Could this match be a turning point in her Miami Open journey? Do you see her going even deeper into the tournament after a performance like this? Share your thoughts below. Was this just another win or the arrival of a future star?